Hi there, boys and girls. We are joined by our friend, Mr. Caterpillar, for his very favorite book. Does this mean Mrs. Neve? It does. We are going to read The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, that's me, all right. Yeah, it looks just like him, doesn't it? Oh, boy. Well, The Very Hungry Caterpillar is a very famous book. You might have a copy. If you do and want to grab it and read along with us, you could. If not, just follow along on the screen. It's written by a very famous author, Eric Carle. Eric Carle has written a lot of children's books. You've probably heard of him before, and you probably have some of his books. It is fiction. What? Fiction, Mrs. Neve? It's okay, Mr. Caterpillar. It's fun to pretend. We love pretending about you. Oh, okay, Mrs. Neve. Didn't want to break his heart like that. Okay. It is fiction, but it does have some true facts about the butterfly life cycle. It also, like all stories, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. All stories do. It's just the way it works. Think about the story we read last week, The Dark at the Top of the Stairs. We predicted the ending, right? And of course, it was the cat. And you guys had some great predictions. It's fun to do that while you read. But it also had a beginning, didn't it? Remember, the old mouse was tucking the little mice into bed and dreaming about what they'd do the next day. Then in the middle of the story, they start creeping up the stairs and they're thinking, what could it be? And, making their predictions. And then at the end, we find out that it's the cat. Of course, they never want to go up there again. As we read The Very Hungry Caterpillar, be thinking about, how does it begin? What happens in the middle of the story? And how does it end? Okay, let's go ahead and read. I'll open our book to the title page. And we've got The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now, as we read, you can also notice Eric Carle's artwork. He's also the illustrator, and he has a beautiful artistic style. You'll enjoy it. Okay, here we go. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. Stage 1 of the life cycle. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. There he is. Yeah, they start out really small. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. And it's kind of fun on this book. They've made holes in the pages to look like the part that the hungry caterpillar ate through. Okay, that was Wednesday. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. I guess that's why they call him the Very Hungry Caterpillar. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 slice of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. And that night, he had a stomach ache. Yeah, you can see why. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf. And after that, he felt much better. I bet he did. There's the holes there. Yeah, this is caterpillar food. And also, he just ate way too much of that junk food. Now, he wasn't hungry anymore. And he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. And then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. Oh, he is gorgeous, isn't he? Oh, I'm going to look like that someday. Yes, Mr. Caterpillar, just be patient. Oh, what a cute story, and what a beautiful butterfly. As we said, this is a very famous children's book. Well, think about it. How did the story begin? Remember, he starts out as the egg. Let's get that picture. There it is. He's the little egg on the leaf. That's how it begins. What are some things that happen in the middle of the story? Yeah, go ahead, tell me. He starts to eat, doesn't he? He eats and he eats, and here's some of the different things that he eats, and then he gets to the stuff that's not good for caterpillars. And then finally he eats through the leaf, and he feels better. He makes the chrysalis, or the cocoon, as Mr. Carls called it in the story. You're right, all those things happen in the middle. How did the story end? Yep, just like the end of the life cycle, stage 4, the beautiful adult butterfly. Yeah, pretty, huh? Well, you are going to get a chance to map out the story of the very hungry caterpillar. In your packet this week, you got a piece of paper that looks like this, and you can use that to make your story map. So you'll need this piece of paper, you'll need a pencil and Mr. Eraser, and then some crayons and or markers. You could use both if you want. So if you need to get the supplies, go ahead and grab them. Then the first step is to fold your paper. All right, so you want to fold it right down this middle line here. So I find the best way to fold things is to line up the corners here. I've got the corners on this side pretty well lined up, and then I make sure the corners on the other side are lined up too. That's pretty good. Now it's easier to do, of course, if you have it down on a table, and then you're going to press down across there. So you've got your paper folded in half like that. There's 2 sides. The next step is to fill out the information on this side. These are some things that they ask for. The title, and you're going to write in The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Then the author, and you're going to write in Eric Carle. And then the setting. The setting is where the story takes place. Now think about The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Where do you think the story happened? Yeah, great ideas. And of course, it has to be somewhere outside, doesn't it? You could put outside. I mean, it wasn't in the house. You could put in the garden, in the woods, on the farm, in the yard. Some kind of outdoor setting, right? And then, on the last line, it says characters. And so those are the people, or in this case, the animals in the story. So the characters in The Very Hungry Caterpillar are, yeah, there's just one, isn't it? Just the caterpillar. So you'll write down the caterpillar. Yeah, because, I mean, there's things that he eats, but those aren't characters. There's not like another caterpillar or, you know, a ladybug that he talks to or something. So just the caterpillar is the only character. Now, here's one that I did just to show you what mine looks like. The title, it says, so you can see it, yeah, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So you want to write that in. Use Mr. Pencil. The author, and then of course I wrote Eric Carle. Mom or dad or big brother or sister can help you with the spelling. Now for the setting, whatever setting you want to choose. Remember, it has to be outside. Now I put down farm. You could hear that AR, special sound R in it, farm. But you could put down the park, the yard, the woods, anywhere you want it to be. And then the characters, of course, we talked about that. I just put down Caterpillar. He's the only character in this story. After you finish filling out this information on this side of the page, then you get to do some information on the other side. You're going to flip it over, and here's where you get to draw some pictures. Now, I guess I didn't fold this real well. It's kind of hard to see, but this says beginning there. I chopped off the top of that B, didn't I? Let's see if I can fix that. That's better. You can see beginning better. Beginning. So you're going to draw a picture of what happened in the beginning of the Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, this is not your story. This is Eric Carle's story. So we're mapping out his story, so you have to draw pictures of what happened in his story, not just your own story that you're making up, okay? So how did it begin? Right, the egg on the leaf. And then the middle. Draw some things that happened in the middle. Remember, he was eating all that stuff. And then the ending. How does it end? Of course, stage 4 of the life cycle, he becomes a beautiful butterfly. Here, I'll show you my example for you. For beginning, there's the egg on the leaf. In the middle, now I drew the caterpillar there. An easy way to draw caterpillars is to make a bunch of little circles like that. They have to be really touching each other. One of mine isn't quite touching, it should be. And I put all the little legs and gave him some antenna there too. Of course, you can always try and make it look more like the hungry caterpillar if you want. Make his head red. Yeah, that would work. Give him purple antenna. And Eric Carle even gives him little hairs on his back. Some caterpillars have that, And then I just drew some pictures of some of the different things that he ate. Some of the different fruit. And I think that's a slice of pie up there. And then, of course, the ending, you could draw the butterfly. So, boys and girls, have fun mapping out this famous children's book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, yeah, I want to map one out too, Mrs. Neve. Of course he does. Yes, Mr. Caterpillar, you can do that. Thank you. And, boys and girls, I would love to see your story maps. Please post them on Teams. Send us a picture. We'd love to see them. And I'll tell you what, if you want to just keep your story map at home and not turn it in, that's okay, because I want you to be able to enjoy it. Put it up somewhere at your house, right? And the cool thing about it being folded like this, you can set it on a table. Let me use my book like a table here. Set it on a table and it should stay up. Of course, it's hard for me to do it but it'll be kind of like a tent. And you can get it to stay up like that, and then you can see both sides. If you have a working desk at home, you might want to put it on your desk. That would be pretty cool. But send us a picture. Okay, boys and girls, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, and thanks for drawing me. Always remember, God has a plan. God has a plan for Mr. Caterpillar and for you. Bye-bye. Love you guys.